You've worked hard to earn and save. Now it's time to make your money work hard for you. This is Empower Your Retirement with Frank and Frankie Guida of A Better Way Financial.
So we're going to do our Retirement 101 that we like to do every week and focus on Social Security. And the very simple question that so many of us have. When do I start taking it? What is the best age to begin your Social Security benefits? So how do you help people figure that out?
You know, Heather, the first thing is you got to look at your lifespan.
Okay.
You know, when are you going to pass away? That's like the first question.
The magic question. If only we all had a little crystal ball. Yeah.
I mean, nobody knows for sure, but I mean, God forbid you had a diagnosis of that you were going to pass away super young, or then obviously start it as soon as you can, because that makes sense. But if you're going to live a normal lifestyle, and you're in relatively good health, you have good genes, and, now with AI, they're saying people are going to live so much longer and be so much healthier for so much longer. You really got a plan to take Social Security at the right time.
Right.
So that's really the first thing that we look at. And then there's a whole bunch more.
Yeah, we're looking at basically so many things. I mean, you want to look at your income needs. So how much do you need in income? And is Social Security going to pretty much cover it, or are you going to still need more after Social Security? So if it's something that you're going to be able to have your needs met through Social Security, well, then maybe we want to wait on that to get a bigger Social Security payout later on, and we can bridge some of those funds with the investments. We want to look at how much you're getting between pensions, how much we're getting through annuities, how much we're getting through dividends, to see what is our income that we need and how much are we going to be getting. And so we want to fill out that gap with Social Security and see what that looks like. Like Dad mentioned, we want to look at the financial planning age. So are we planning to live a long time, or are we planning not to live such a long time? How much have we saved for our retirement? Can you afford to wait? If you wait till 70 and you don't have the assets to fill that difference, well, then that's not going to work. And so you need to look at, well, can I afford to wait or can I not afford to wait? You need to look into spousal benefits. If you're married, should I turn on one half of my spouse's Social Security, or should I use my own? When should I turn it on? And then coordinating those benefits, because your spouse cannot turn on Social Security based off of your life until you have yours turned on. And so that's something that you want to coordinate together if you guys are married and trying to figure that out. Okay. So there's a lot of different things that you look into as far as when to take Social Security, when is the right time. And we utilize financial planning software to figure out when is the best time to take that Social Security, as well as what are the different advantages and disadvantages of taking the Social Security at different times. And the nice thing about having financial planning software is it's going to show us when that break even is. And what that break even means is basically, if you live past a certain age, you're going to benefit from having to wait it an extra year, 2 years, 3 years, whenever it is.
Okay.
And so let's say you're turning it on at age 62. Well, if you pass away at 63, you're best off turning it on at 62 because you would have gotten it as early as you could and gotten that income. And really, 62 is the best. And these are just rules of thumb.
Right.
If you live between 62 and 75. If you make it past 75 and you're between 76 and 78, you're better off having waited till 65.
Okay.
And so if you pass away between 62 and 64, you're better off if you don't make it till 75. That's how you, quote unquote, win the Social Security game, right?
Okay.
But if you live between 76 and 78, you're going to be best off waiting to your full retirement age. So you're waiting until roughly about 66 to 67.
Okay.
And then turning it on between 67 and 70 is best if you're usually 78 to 80. And then 81 plus is usually at age 70. And so there's various different times as far as when you're going to pass away, when to take it. Ultimately, none of us know when we're going to pass away anyways, right. So utilizing the financial planning software and figuring out what's best long-term is usually something that's important. If you pass away early on, your assets are going to make it anyways in most cases. And so we usually plan for the long run so that we want to make sure you don't run out of money in your retirement years.
You know, Frankie, I think you said something really, really important here that a lot of people don't totally get. You know, a lot of folks think that when they retire, that's when they have to put on Social Security. That's when they should start it. and without realizing that may not be the best time. As you're saying, if you've got enough in savings and you're going to live a long life, you might as well hold off on taking it, and it can make a world of difference in how much more you get out of the Social Security system and how much better you can live and how much more income you can ultimately live on throughout the rest of your life.
Yeah, there's been circumstances where people have been projected hundreds of thousands of dollars more from Social Security by waiting rather than turning it on as soon as they retire.
Okay.
And simply put, yeah, it makes sense. I'm retiring. My income from work's going away. Why don't I replace it from Social Security? This is a pot of money. I can get a guaranteed income stream from Social Security. Mm-hmm. Well, it's simple, but it might not always be the right decision. And so that's why you want to partner with a financial planning firm who focuses on making those right decisions in your retirement, who focuses on, well, not only can I replace that income? What should I replace that income with? When should I turn on my Social Security? These are all things that we look into as we build out your personalized complementary retirement roadmap, showing you when to turn on your Social Security, what is the right age for you, how do we make sure we're getting the most out of it, and how do we get the most out of your retirement savings as well. So if you're 55 and older and you save $500,000 or more for your retirement, give us a call right now for your complimentary retirement roadmap. We're offering this right now for the next 5 callers. So again, that's 610-440-3722. That's 610-440-3722.
You know, Frankie, we had this couple come in. They were both 59 years old. And what a great example of delaying Social Security. They wanted to retire at 60. So they figured, well, you know what? We'll delay Social Security. Obviously, well, they're not going to delay it, but they have to take Social Security no earlier than 62. And that's when they thought they were going to take it. Mm-hmm. But these folks had saved $2 million for retirement. And we were able to show them that there was a better idea, didn't we?
Yeah, we looked into turning it on at 62, and then we said, well, let's also look at using our financial planning software, whether we turn it on at 65 or 67 or 70. Let's look at all the different options and see what's best for your family. Mm-hmm. And in their case, they were planning to live a long, healthy life. It's the way we plan. We plan for a long, healthy life so that if you do pass away sooner, you don't run out of money. And if you do live longer, we already have that accounted for so that our job is to make sure you don't run out of money. So that's the way that we try to be conservative in all of our assumptions there. But if they do live as planned till age 95, they would have actually made more money by turning on their Social Security at age 70. In fact, it would be around $850,000 more just from Social Security.
Okay.
So this isn't have anything to do with their investments. Just looking at when they should turn on their Social Security, they're projecting around $850,000 more. Now, there are a few caveats. The first one is it's assuming that there's no cut in the Social Security payout. So that could happen down the road. We don't know exactly what the future holds for that. But assuming that it stays the same payouts that it is, they're looking at about $850,000 more. And even if there would be a cut in the future, they're going to cut across the board. So whether you turn it on at 62 or whether you turn it on at 70, you still would be getting cut there. And their break even was age 79. So each year that they lived past 79, they were getting more and more money from Social Security. Now, they're still going to need income over that 8-year period that they wait from 62 to 70. And so what we did is we took that $2 million that they had saved and we said, well, you're going to need some income from the portfolio over the next 8 years. You're going to need about $100,000 over the next 8 years. So that's about $800,000 that they're going to need. And then after Social Security is turned on, they're only going to need around $25,000 per year. So they still have over $1.2 million saved, and that's assuming they don't even get any return. Mm-hmm. And they're only taking out $25,000. That's less than 2% per year from the portfolio, 2-3%. So they were in a good situation. And so that's what we looked into. How do we get the most out of your portfolio? How do we make sure we're getting the most out of Social Security, getting the most out of their returns? We were projected about a 1% higher return over the past 25 years, so about $20,000 more of income from that extra interest that they were getting. We were able to cut the risk in half in their portfolio from being able to go down 30% to being able to go down 15%. So protecting more of their hard-earned savings and making sure that everything was working tax efficiently for them, converting over the next 9 years, getting more and more tax free from their portfolio, saving over $700,000 in taxes for them, and an additional $700,000 plus for their kids as well. So looking into a holistic retirement roadmap, setting apart their portfolio and just dissecting each part of it, looking at Social Security, looking at income, looking at investments, looking at taxes, so that they're able to get the most out of their portfolio in their retirement years. And if you want to have this type of work done for you to figure out what are those options, what can I do to maximize my retirement portfolio, give us a call and we're going to be able to put together a complimentary retirement roadmap for you. That number to dial is 610-440-3722. If you're 55 and older and you save $500,000 or more for your retirement, give us a call right now. The number is 610-440-3722 for your complimentary retirement roadmap.
Thanks for listening to Empower Your Retirement with Frank and Frankie Guida. To learn more, visit abetterwayfinancial.com.
By contacting us, we'll review aspects of your retirement portfolio to include suggestions about how best to utilize estate, tax, and retirement planning strategies and other financial services, or if changing management styles is appropriate for your specific needs and objectives. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendations to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. A Better Way Financial is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Any client experiences discussed during this show are unique to that client, and they are not meant to imply or suggest you will experience the same results. Advisory services offered through A Better Way Financial. Insurance offered through licensed professionals at A Better Way Financial. Pennsylvania Insurance License number 301779.